You should know when I was a kid, my grandmother, she'd call me up, and to get me to come over, she'd tell me she made chocolate chip cookies. And I'd be so excited, I'd rush over, and every time she'd burn the goddamn cookies. And I'd sit there and eat them with a smile on my face and pretended I like them. And that's exactly how I felt about Shang-Chi. I wanted to love this movie, I got there, I sat with a smile on my face, and I left with a bad taste in my mouth. Ah! Ah! I still love you, Grandma, but what are you doing to me? Now, I know that might trigger some of you because I see it's got a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, so I'm bent over your knee, prepared for my spanking. I know you love this movie. Now, just before you give me a whack, let me explain, because there was a lot I loved about this movie, and I want you to be a good dad here. I only want you to give me the spanking if I deserve it. Now, Shang-Chi is a Marvel superhero movie about the legend of the Ten Rings and how Shang-Chi is drawn back into his past to deal with this criminal organization. I really wanted to love this movie. I was so excited for it. I made my wife go to see it on a Tuesday. I'm a huge fan of the cast. Love all the cast. Awkwafina is hilarious. Simu Liu, I've been a huge fan of his since he blew me away in Kim's Convenience. He's so, comes across so kind and funny. I love him. And everyone around them was well casted. Everyone did a great job in the acting department. Another fun thing I love about the movie is how they decided to change the 10 rings. In the original comics, the rings were worn on the superhero's fingers, and they changed it because they didn't want it to be too similar to Thanos' rings, which I think is a great thing that happened, because putting the rings on the arms and all the cool ways they were able to use those in punches and flying, I thought it was badass. A really cool take and fresh. I loved that. The movie also had a lot of great action. There were super great fights. I loved the use of martial arts and the different styles. Unfortunately, I thought the best fight in the whole movie was super early on, which is one you see glimpses of in the trailer, that fight on the bus. That was super action-packed. There was lots of riveting moments in there and lots of good comedy in that section of the movie, and I just absolutely loved it. I also know that Simu did all of his own stunts, which is just mind-blowing to me, because as far as I know, he's only been in Kim's Convenience, and I haven't seen him throw too many punches at Mr. Kim, so he really nailed it with that. I thought he did a phenomenal job. And overall, I thought the writing was pretty good. I think my main complaint with the movie, and why I'm saying that I didn't like it, was I got bored. And I feel like if you get bored in a movie, you shouldn't give it a huge recommendation. And I was racking my brain trying to figure out why I was bored, because I hate to say bad things about anything, because I thought, again, the graphics are great, the actors are great, there were moments where I laughed, there were moments where I held my breath, like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? But I did find myself getting bored, and I think that comes down to two things. After the first half of the movie, after the first half, there's no good plot twists. I found myself getting a little shut-eye in there from time to time. There's some really good plot twists in the first good chunk of the movie, and then after that point in the Fight Club, all the twists are gone, and it's just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's very, very linear, and I wish there was just one or two good twists in the end that really shocked me and wowed me to keep me intrigued. I thought that would have helped. And then the other thing that got me bored was there was a lot of times in the movie where I found myself being like, that doesn't make sense. I got a couple examples that are spoiler-free. And this first one hurts because it started out so well. So the movie is, I'd say the first 10 minutes or so are all in Mandarin, which I thought was a really cool homage to the culture. And they bring back Mandarin a lot throughout the film. So the way they transition from Mandarin to English is they have Awkwafina's character, Katie, say, someone speaks Mandarin to her and she says, oh, I only speak English. And then from that movie on, they speak a lot more English with the Mandarin-speaking characters, which I thought was so clever and so awesome until a certain point in the movie, people are speaking Mandarin to her, and all of a sudden she gets it. She helps achieve goals in the movie based on the fact that these people are yelling at her in some language that 20 minutes ago she had no idea what it meant. So that irked me every time that happened, really pissed me off, really got my nipples soft and disappointed me. And the other moment that I thought was really, and my wife brought up, that seemed like an odd choice for the writing, was Shang-Chi and Katie run across this magical, cute looking dog, and they lose their shit. They freak out. They're like, oh, what the hell is that? Which would have read as funny and great if they had not just witnessed a bunch of death and destruction. It's like, how do you go from seeing all this gruesome stuff and being totally okay with it to like, oh, cute puppy, I'm losing my shit. So overall, my general vibe is like, I love the universe. I love the world they created. I want all the same people to work on the sequel because I think they're onto something really special here with the rings and the characters and the universe. And I'm excited to see how it ties into the MCU more. But for me, like, I don't know if I'm going to be watching this one again in a while. Maybe once a bunch of the films come out and it's time to watch them all in a row to remember everything that happened, I'll do it. But I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite. And I really wanted it to be. Maybe that's why I'm so at odds here. Now, should you go see this movie? I think, yeah, if you like superhero movies, if you're into the MCU, you're definitely going to enjoy this enough. There's lots of good comedy, lots of good gags and jokes. I can think of 2 times, one in the battlefield and one on the bus, where I laughed really hard. I lost my shit a little bit. And you're going to love the fights. You're going to love the choreography. There's going to be all those moments for you. You're also going to have a couple of moments where you're like, you know what? I think now might be a good time to go refill my popcorn. Or, hey, maybe I should try it for this next little bit, making out with my date for a minute. I'm going to get a little handsy here because otherwise I'm going to get bored. I'm going to give this movie an 80 out of 100 with a thumbs up. They should see it. And let me know if I deserve the spanking. You know what? I'll take the spanking as long as I don't have to eat those goddamn cookies again. And now I do want to get into one spoiler because my wife just walked in real quick and she mentioned a point which I think maybe would have made the movie better. So coming up from this point on, I'm going to be talking 1 or 2 spoilers. One thing they did is they withheld stuff from us to like kind of make it, I think they thought maybe it would be the twist we wanted or a surprise. And one of those things was seeing how the mom died and seeing that the son, Shang-Chi, saw the death happen and didn't do anything about it. And I feel like that happened way too late in the movie. And if they had pushed that up way earlier and we saw it happen, we would know his struggle. We would know why he left his family. We would know why this was so hard for him. But the fact that it came so later in the movie, you're like, yeah, big deal. And 2 other things that irked me. Number 1, Shang-Chi felt super overpowered. Like, I get that you can be a master martial artist and be badass at kung fu, but like, dude, you really can beat up 20 dudes on a bus and beat a guy with a laser sword arm? Like, that does not make any sense in any world of reality. Like, if they said he had some sort of magical abilities from his parents, or maybe I missed that and that did happen, it was made more clear, like, then I would get it. But just to be like, oh, he did martial arts and then took a 10-year break, but still remembered everything, like riding a bike, like, no. He should have got his ass whooped a little bit here because he took a break. You don't just come back into the ring a champion. That doesn't happen. You get your ass beat a little bit and then you win again. That's what happens. And the other thing was those pendants. I like the story of the mom giving them to them and the sentimental value. But then they were all like, we need to get the pendants. Dad has the pendants. It's going to be terrible. And then when they got back to the pendants, like, nah, we don't need those back. Whatever. Like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, have them care. Have them mean something. Make it emotional. Give it stakes. I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Please don't hate me. I feel like I have to go into, like, witness protection now that I was completely honest with you. So I'm going to go have my last meal here and make myself some chocolate chip cookies. It's been a nice life.